This episode is presented to you by DraftKings. The crown is yours. Welcome back, All the Smoke. Jack, we got a legend in the building. Man, we appreciate just your time and willingness to come and chop it up and tell some stories. A lot of good things going on in your life right now. Congratulations. You just got
copyright reversion.
All your copy back. So talk to us, because we talked to DOC a couple months, about 3 or 4 months ago about this process. And so it's a 35-year process. Yeah. And then after that, everything reverts.
At first, it was a 65-year process.
Set up to lose. Even 35 is a monster, though, especially in the game you were playing in.
Most definitely. Rest in peace to Tupac and all them, man. They didn't get to see all that. You know what I'm saying? They had somebody else do it for them.
Explain what that is, though, for the people that don't understand.
Well, 1976, it was a Copyright Act called Copyright Reversion, where they lowered it down to 35 years. And if you signed a bad deal when you was young, you get the second bite at the apple 35 years later, which the company have to come back and negotiate with you to keep their deal in place. If you don't want to do it or if you want to do it, it's up to you. I chose to do it myself. It took me this long to get it back. And if you don't answer the phone when I call, if I did the deal, then it's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So tell me, let me hear some of the songs. Let the fans hear some of the songs that you just got the reversion back to.
I mean, all the Death Row Cadillac. Riding in the Cadillac, but you know, all the songs from like Ambitious of a Rider, I Ain't Mad at You, Two of Them, America's Most Wanted, you know,
all them classics.
Songs that people implicated Ambitious of a Rider in, Lil Wayne, Meek Mills. Everybody touched on that. So, you know, I get a piece of that. And I get 25% of that. And Tupac get the other 25%. And then they get to chop up the rest of that, whatever it is. But we get the solid number off the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, them checks come in every 3 months, times 15, 20 times. You know? So, you know, but I love it. Yeah. I know, like I said, I've reached the pinnacle of rap. You know, I done got a song with everybody in the game, from Run DMC with Rage, and being in a video with Run DMC, Jam Master Jay, that's classics for me as far as being a part of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I've reached the pinnacle of rap.
With that said, though, I still don't think you get the respect you deserve for what you created and accomplished, and the people you helped build that are the pioneers, or you are a pioneer, but who are the pioneers in this space. We talked to Quick, we talked to DOC about that. And why do you feel like, how come you feel like, you know, guys like you, some of the pioneers in this West Coast thing, don't necessarily get the respect or credit you deserve for your hand in the game?
Maybe because we probably didn't give up a lot of publishing and you know, follow the rules, what they want us to do, you know what I'm saying? But just learning the game, period, is just a learning lesson. And then I'm a low-key person. I'm not a showboat, you know. I just kick back, you know, until it's some drama and all that, and then I show out, you know what I'm saying, just get us out of the situation. You know, it's all about a private solution, peaceful solution. Or it could turn the other way, but it's all about, you know, think first. You know, that 30 seconds can get you 30 years.
Coming back from that.
So you boys better think out there. Get your money out, man.
You stepped away from rap a couple of years ago and just said it wasn't fun no more. What got the enthusiasm back? Because you're dropping a project soon.
I mean, just the part of not just, you know, just rapping I love. It's just the bullshit that the middlemen and everybody else inside game trying to, let me hook this stuff for you. Let me hook that, you know. That's what I got tired of, that type of stuff, you know.
Finessing.
Yeah, everybody in there trying to get them a piece of something. I got a verse for you. Somebody want to get a verse, but how much you getting out of the deal? You know what I mean? That type of thing, you know. So that's what I really got sick of, you know, retired from that part of the game.
Okay.
But now retired from, you know, dropping this dope music, and that's all we know. And then, you know, I learned something different, which is construction. So, you know.
Tell us about what we should expect from this album and the name of it.
The name of this album is Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back. I dropped Retaliation, Revenge, and Get Back Part 1 in 1998. And so I felt like, you know, my spirit was like, drop this album.
You had to get this out of you. There's some energy on this?
Yeah, some energy on this, all hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing soft, just a movie.
Got any features?
I got the regular features that was on the first album.
Oh, okay. You ran it back. Okay.
So that's why I wanted to put it like that.
98 was a good year. That's my senior year of high school.
Yeah, we got basic, everything in this mixed proper is banging. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just having fun with it. You know, so that's what it's about, having fun with the music. You know what I'm saying? That we can have fun now. We're older now. we ain't got a lot of people in our mix trying to steal from you.
Well, talk to us. I mean, we were talking before we got on camera and just how dirty the business is, but you were just giving us so much game, not only in the music space, but now you're in the construction and real estate space. But what was your hand almost forced to learn it because you saw so much bullshit being played with the numbers and holding money back and not getting this and not getting that?
I've seen a lot of people get fucked. You know what I mean? Just taking advantage of it, you know what I'm saying? And knowing before you make the song, you need to register that song because it's all about what I give them.
Mm-hmm.
Not what they give me. They waiting for me to give them something. So before I drop this song up to you, I'm already registered and they're getting together. So when you try to go register, it's already done before you even think about it. And that's what I did back in the 90s too. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I am the producer.
Mm-hmm.
I call the shots around here. You know what I'm saying? When Suge went to jail, I was running Death Row. You know what I'm saying? And he tried to have me and Snoop feuding. And, you know, that's my cousin. We ain't gonna never fall out like that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna fall out on you. But we ain't gonna fall out on each other, you know what I'm saying? So, and we still pushing to this day, you know what I'm saying? And I've been on this earth 52 years.
Mm-hmm. God bless.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. You did. So, you know, it's a learning lesson. Every lesson ain't a failure. Right. It's a learning lesson. Mm-hmm. Keep pushing, you know what I'm saying? And get up and do it again.
Not too long ago, Snoop bought Death Row over. What did that mean to you? Obviously, you spoke on it. That was a wild time, obviously, and you learned a lot from it. But to hear your family brought it back in, and it's going to be ran different, and it's a different version. What were your thoughts when you first heard that?
Well, you know, it was a dude named Alan Grunblack who ran E1. He was the evil man. You know, he was running around with Suge Knight, and they was stealing. And he had told them that I had sold my publishing and everything, and then Snoop get it back, and they come to find out they lied. And then I got all that money back from when they found out there wasn't no paperwork or none of that. And then they said, what is your routing number? Hey, y'all. You know what I mean?
They didn't want to be sued.
Yeah, they didn't want to be sued. So, you know, add a little bit more zero to the back of that thing, and we'll call it a day because, you know, I love my lawyer. His name is Brett Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Been my friend. Met him on a plane when I was down and out. Put that paperwork in and know how to work it. And, you know what I'm saying? Here we are today, you know what I'm saying? And just learning from everybody and teaching people, you know what I'm saying? Just watch me. Mm-hmm. Watch the moves out. What they say? Don't watch me.
Watch the moves out now. Who says that?
Percy.
God damn it. I was just
Big P.
I was just with it broke his heart.
I knew it registered. It had to be somebody.
But he just, that's a common saying. I'm like, the homie says that. Shout out Big P.
And you do know that.
Any truth to you stealing reels back when Suge went down? And
most definitely. I pulled the U-Haul truck up.
Talk to us about that.
It was, you know, Reggie Wright the Rat, you know what I'm saying? He was trying to tell me I couldn't get my reels. So, you know, we overpowered and put the reels in the back, and I gave him all blank reels. You know, he gave me a check and thought he had, you know, all the music on there, but I gave him all blank reels. He ain't checking no reels. You know what I mean? So I just put the Symphony on, hit fuck you on the drum machine, which I sampled. So it say fuck you, fuck you, fuck you the whole time. And then when they pulled them tapes up, they was high.
That's all I heard was fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck you. I got them reels right at the house. You know what I'm saying? So I just keep them like they as a trophy.
Yeah.
All the reels, because they don't even have reel-to-reel machines no more.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just business is business. Don't try to
man.
put one on us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because them reels cost $250 a piece without nothing on it. When you buy them in the pack, you buy one for $250. So you got to get 200. Back in the days, you had to have $250 just to record on one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't even have ADATs and computers and stuff back then.
A lot of people don't know the difference between Long Beach and LA.
Yeah.
Explain it to them.
Long Beach is all Crips.
First and foremost.
Ain't no other gang.
First and foremost.
Ain't nothing down there. It's just all Crips. 19s, Instangs, 20s, and then you got the essays, and then you got the Filipinos, but we all together. But as soon as you come past that bridge, that 17th to that 405,
Yeah.
It's a different story.
it's all then you got North Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the Mac Mafias and you know what I'm saying? So we all get along, you know what I'm saying? It's Long Beach niggas everywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, we hang out in Compton, LA, you know, it's all about unification.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nip say, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Finding your love for music. I know Snoop and I know y'all first cousins kind of grew up in the church background.
Yeah.
That's how y'all found your love for
But
music.
your mom also used to write too,
And
right?
my mom wrote songs for Bobby Blue Bland.
Yeah.
A song called To Be Friends.
Yeah.
Y'all can look that up on. And then, you know, she wrote songs for Stax and Motown. Michael Grayson was the producer. And the dude that Kendrick Lamar and them sampled, Monk Higgins. She was a part of them writing songs with them. So, you know, my mom played piano.
It's in your DNA.
My mom tutored. She was a school teacher. She tutored Janet Jackson. And
So you got a relationship with the Jackson family.
yeah, my mom tutored for Janet Jackson when she was a teenager.
That's dope.
You know what I'm saying? And,
What was Mike like?
you know, we see him every now and then, you know what I'm saying, and interact with him. And, you know, he had a Doberman picture and all other shit. That's where they lived in Encino. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my mom, she,
That's dope.
then she became a gospel singer.
Okay. So it was in your blood.
Yeah, most definitely. I grew up in music. Like my mother say, me and your daddy got all these degrees in there, but you made more money than we all did.
They paid them dues.
Most definitely.
Ray-J and Brandy, our family.
Yeah, most definitely. They from Macomb and we from like my family from Magnolia, Mississippi.
So what's the circle in the music space of like cousins, family? Because Nate Dogg's cousin too. Was he on
Now,
one
Nate
side?
Dogg not our cousin, but he's from, Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
From out that way.
Yeah. So, you know, just us being from Mississippi.
That's where you get that soul from.
Yeah, and all that, you know what I'm saying?
Rest in
And my
peace,
dad from New Orleans, from the 9th Ward, off Dual Street. So, you know.
You know that George Floyd daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, just good music, jazz, soul music, gospel music. You know what I'm saying? That's why I became the great producer that I am.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.
Give us a story about Ricky Harris, man.
Ricky Harris. Well, back in the days, you know, that's our cousin Ricky Harris. You know, he was on Ice Cube album back in there. We were so proud of him and doing all that. You know, he was the J, the I, the M, and, you know, all that. And we was like, man, hook us up, man. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up with Ricky in the church. His dad was our pastor, Reverend Harris at Golgotha Trinity Baptist Church. So, you know, and then over the years, he's been great doing movies, The Heat. Then he got the one with Chris, you know what I mean? Whatever that show he had with the Chris.
Chris Tucker?
Yeah, the other Chris.
He was
Chris
on
Rock.
Chris Rock. But I
And he played
thought, wasn't he on Money Talks too? He had a little role on
He
Money
had
Talks?
all, he was
Yeah,
our
he had a whole bunch of
superstar.
little roles.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah.
you know, the day that he died, we was over there. You know what I mean? We waited till we put him in the back of the car, you know, when they take your body to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He died on the kitchen floor, you know what I'm saying? So I was there for that one.
All them famous skits on the albums, man. That was him.
All that today. I still got some. I'm gonna put some on my new album. I'm gonna put a new album.
Legend, bro.
Legend. Rest in peace. Ricky Harris.
DJ Easy.
Yeah. Your bees. Cause we started W Balls in the living room. I used to hook up my tape player with all my equipment, and when people call, we used to be like, W Balls, dick in your mouth. You know, shit like that. And then we took that and put it on record.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, it became classic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just stuff we wouldn't even think of that we would do became classic. We wasn't really thinking about
Just
trying to
having fun.
be this person. Because when we made The Chronic, everybody used to walk past us. They didn't know our face. They just knew our voice. So when we trying to get in the club, they like, let you little niggas in the club. And Ice-T come up and say, that's them niggas playing in the back. Y'all playing their music. So Ice-T used to get us in the club all the time.
That's dope.
Was Ricky Harris, did he start as a comedian?
He started off as a comedian.
'Cause I remember on Def Comedy Jam.
Yeah, he was always, that's what I'm saying. And then he was doing acting and he was directing, you know what I'm saying? So we learned from that to be like, you can be who you want to be if you want to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to Ice-T. He's
Yeah.
someone that kind of really, he's starting to come out and talk a little bit more, but just his influence and what he's meant, but particularly to you.
Yeah, Ice-T, that's the big homie. He just hit me the other day. And I left him a message Sunday and I put that message that he left me on my album. So y'all can go listen to my new album, drop June 15th.
June 15th.
And y'all can hear Ice-T talking about his homie Daz. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just giving me great,
Give me your flowers.
Just giving me great leadership and what to do, not to do. You know what I'm saying? This part, because he's a triple OG in the game.
Come on, man.
80 years old, man.
Is he
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, you know, Ice-T almost 80.
Damn, I would have never known.
70-something.
Damn, that's crazy.
Big homie.
For real.
Big homie. The DPG sound
Yeah.
that we all love and we all kind of grew up to. How did that sound come about?
That sound came from learning from Dr. Dre, Warren G, and myself. You know what I'm saying? Just listening to what Dr. Dre did, taking what I had from the drum machine, putting it on the tape, adding live instruments, and mixing it and making it sound good. Because back in the days, I used to just use samples and gritty samples and stuff like that. And then it's about the quality, not the quantity. So I learned from that and then had my own sound. And just, my music is aggressive. Like, I like to hear bass, chords, and melodies, and just instruments. You know what I'm saying? And I don't hear that today. I just hear clink, clink, boom, boom, boom. You know,
Everything sound the same kind of to me.
Yeah. And you want to chill back, like keep sweating, you know what I'm saying? But like how we used to sample George Clinton and all them now they sampling our music now. Now we getting the sample clearance check. You know what I'm saying? I got a whole bunch of stuff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take my whole catalog, chop it up with the samples and all that, and go and put it out and let them go and get crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't get information unless they put it out for you.
Right.
Where does your love for producing and creative coming from? Creativity come from?
Feelings, expression. You know what I'm saying? If I couldn't talk, then I'd be fighting, and like autism kids. You know what I'm saying? So just the feeling, the music. You know what I'm saying? How if I feel mad, then I'll make some aggressive music. Now if I feel like I love her, I got the the bride, we sitting right here, we doing our thing. It's all about the mo, right?
Yeah. Make me a love song.
Yeah, for real. Bass going up, man. Put the drink down, man. Get the move right. Dim the lights down. And then you say, now.
How you feeling? Can I get you anything? What were some of them sessions
What you
like,
think, ladies?
What were some of them sessions like with you, Dre, Warren, just behind the scenes creating magic?
Just learning. Just the Cold Chronic album was
just soaking it up.
Just going to school. You know what I'm saying? Soaking it up, man. You know what I'm saying? And being involved with it and elevating. Because, we lived in Hollywood. We was only living off a bucket of chicken, Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? Chicken and 2 bags of weed a day. You know what I'm saying? We would have to call a homeboy, L-Dog, rest in peace, from the Dog Pound. Hit 211, 187, 911. On the pager. In Hollywood, from Willie and Franklin, that's where we used to stay at, because we used to record at Dick Griffey Studio, which is now, what was Babyface Studio or something, off of Cahuenga. So that was our area. And us being from Long Beach, we didn't know how to get back to Long Beach because we never left Long Beach. So we was in Hollywood, and that's how we got to know everything in Hollywood by the Chronic album. And plus, back then with Dr. Dre, we was going at it with NWA and whoever else wanted it. You know what I'm saying? So, and now we all cool, you know what I'm saying? We was fighting somebody else, battle that we didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that Chronic album. You were a teenager.
Yeah.
Working on that.
I was 16.
16.
I'm 52 now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
What's that like? Like you said, soaking it up, but just really take us back to that moment and what you were learning and seeing and feeling and hearing.
I mean, just hearing that music that Dr. Dre and them before,
How much older, not to cut you off, how much older is Dre than you? So Dre's what, 10, 15 years older than you?
Dre about 10, 15 years older than us. You know what I'm saying? And Snoop is like 2 years older than me.
Okay.
So, but just learning, going back and forth, being broke, standing on the phone, calling 911, 280, 187, looking at a nigga driving a Lexus, like, man, I think I like that Lexus. You know what I mean? And then dreams come true. We didn't know we was gonna be who we are. You know what I'm saying? We were just making music.
How did Dre find you?
I came under Snoop.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He found Snoop, and Snoop brought all of us together. You know what I'm saying? And then I was DJing. My name was DJ Young Jedi. I can get out on the turntables. And then just learning. And then Warren G taught me how to use the drum machine. And I learned from Dre how to take what I have from the drum machine and lay it down and bring in bass players and orchestras and add different stuff to what I'm saying. If I said I'm going through the wind, I need that orchestra to go, that's on that part. You know what I'm saying? Just to make it sound. You know what I'm saying?
How you go from Jedi to Daz?
My name Delmar Arnold. So I hung with a lot of people, my homeboys from the 5% Nation of Islam. You know, Divine Allah Zigzag, you know what I'm saying? I studied that, and, you know, I just studied a lot of things, you know what I'm saying, growing up as a kid, and that turned into Daz, you know what I'm saying? Destruction adds up to 0.
I'm Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would, I learned that back in the days, you know, listen to poor righteous teachers.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day, you know, we all had the medallion.
Yeah, we all had
The
it.
African medallion.
We all had the motherfuckers.
We had them back. I had the big ones, the little ones, the yellow ones, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So just growing up in that era, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that was hip hop was about, learning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I hear different songs, I think about, damn.
What's the mathematics?
Yeah, everything.
Doggystyle. What was it like helping be a part of that project?
It was great being in Doggystyle because I was producing more, I was writing more, just learning more. You know, they knew our face then. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when John Singleton came to us, and he wanted us to do Poetic Justice. And we did the song Niggas Don't Give a Fuck. And that was the first Dog Pound song. Because me and Kurupt was solo. I was that nigga Daz, he was Kurupt the Kingpin. And then we was getting high, you know what I'm saying? Looking at the moon one night, like, damn, we gonna call ourselves the Dog Pound. Because we lived in the dog. That was the thing in our house, the Dog Pound. And then all the niggas that we had the Dog Pound gang. But we had a group, the Dog Pound. So I'm like, nigga, we gonna become the Dog Pound. And that next day when we was high thinking that shit, drunk and shit, looking at the moon and shit, and the moon moving and shit, John Singleton came up and we did that song the next day. It was solidified.
I mean, you've had your hand in a ton of hits. What was that one when you heard on the radio, the LA radio wave, the first time you were like, damn.
Got my mind on my money and my money on my mind. Gin and juice. You know what I'm saying? On hearing your voice, but just being on Tangeray and Blunts and just being on the Chronic, and then What Would You Do? We got nominated. That was a diss song.
And nominated for a Grammy, didn't you?
Yeah, we got nominated for a Grammy for that.
Yeah.
And me and Kurupt took our mothers to the Grammys.
Fire.
It was our date.
Fire.
Go ahead, you finish. You can finish.
Oh, that's it. You know, we just took our mothers to the Grammys and got the, you know, the Bone Thugs won it, you know what I'm saying? But that's who we was feuding with back then, but we best of friends now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bone Thugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Above the Rim soundtrack, Dog Pound for Life. You did that beat?
Yeah, I did that beat.
That bitch hard.
Yeah,
Boom, boom, boom. That shit crazy.
Yeah, and then I did
The
Big
Above the Rim
Pimpin'.
soundtrack. Big Pimpin' too. Yeah.
Big
Big
Pimpin'.
Pimpin' too. Yeah.
I heard, I want to say I heard you tell it or someone tell it. You and Snoop got into some shit one time, just kind of wrestling around, and he shot up your equipment.
Yeah, we got into it. You know,
Talk to us about
big cousin,
that.
little cousin in the room talking shit. I'm talking shit. And I think I put him in the headlock or something like that. And then he came in there and shot my drum machine with these 380s we just bought. And then I went in there and shot the TV up he just bought. You know, he had one of them big ass TVs, and then we just went in there and smoked the blunt afterwards and called it a day.
Didn't y'all produce? Didn't y'all create Ain't No Fun right after that?
Yep, because we went somewhere and they took the disc out the drum machine and gave it to Dr. Dre, and then I came back in. They had Ain't No Fun done. I'm like, do I get my credit for it?
Right.
So that's why I'm still fighting for that right now. Because it's stuff that only we know. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to us about Ain't No Fun, though.
Yeah. Ain't No Fun. The homies can't have none, you know. Boom, boom, boom. Got that off of Cameo. I was sampling Cameo.
Okay.
And then they just took that bass line, 1-1. Dr. Dre did what he did, and Nate Dogg coming in. And when I met you, it was over. Rest in peace to Nate Dogg. You know what I'm saying? We've been through a lot.
Man.
What you gonna do? You really don't know. So I'd advise you not to trust that hoe. Silly of me to fall in love with you, bitch. No one doesn't know what you caught up with my grip. Now as the sun rotates and my game grows bigger. How many bitches wanna fuck this nigga named Snoop? Doggy, I'm all the above. I'm too swift on my toes to get caught up with you hoes. Hold up.
Hey.
Hold up, Snoop.
And we perform that every time, man. You know,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, they be like, man, we grew up on y'all, man, you know?
Yeah.
And we just be like, damn, I'm that old. You know what I'm saying? But I still feel young, you know what I'm saying? I eat my vegetables, fruit, you know what I'm saying? Get the sun. You know, y'all better get y'all some sun too, because that's a part of life.
That's a blessing. Your music timeless.
Yeah.
Murder Was the Case.
Murder Was the Case. We had wrote that song. It was a song called Dave, Death After Visualizing Eternity. That was the first name of that song when we first created it. Then we turned it into Murder Was the Case, but Murder Was the Case song was done before that incident with the dog. So it wasn't like we made that after that. You know what I'm saying? So I just went
It
over
sure
there.
looked like,
Yeah.
the timing of it.
Police were thought, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But I had just went over there the other day. If you look at my Instagram, I got a clip on there where I went there, 3710 Vent. Just, you know, like that history, just that part right there, and just like, man, because I played the devil part. Bring your lifestyle to me, I'll make it better.
Now, how long will I live?
Eternal life and forever.
Yeah.
Will I be the G that I make your life better than you can imagine or even dreamed of? So relax your soul. Let me take control. Close your eyes, my nigga.
My eyes are closed.
Hey, so you know.
No, that shit like a motherfucker.
And they made a movie out of that, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and, you know, we get paid from that to this day, you know what I'm saying? So I just look at everything and I just love it, you know what I'm saying? And my kids, they looking like, that's you, daddy?
Right, crazy, right?
Hey.
What's that side of it like? Because music is so different today than it was back then. But what is that side like when your kids kind of start understanding who their dad was and what kind of history?
When I'm walking with my daughter, she's like, man, why are these motherfuckers coming up to you?
Right.
Who was this?
How old is she?
7.
Oh, you see this.
And my son, he got a chain on. He like, yeah, that's daddy. You don't know? See, you ain't tell me. You ain't tell me. So, you know, I school her now. She know. You know what I'm saying? So, and now she listening to the music, you know, because she all West Coast and she's 7 years old.
When did you run into Kurupt? How you and Kurupt meet?
Me and Kurupt met on Death Row. You know what I'm saying? He was already on Death Row and I came. And then we was upstairs until they had a big old room where they had a dance hall. We used to perform up there and practice and rehearsal. And he used to come by there at him, and then we just became super tough Titan.
Duo.
And then I became security for him. I beat niggas up for him, you know what I'm saying? So we just running around.
Philly, right?
Huh?
He from Philly, right?
He from Philly, Sharon Hill, yep.
Yeah.
So,
Your man Roscoe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he just been with us, and then, you know, we just been a tight-knit family, you know what I'm saying? And just running them.
So y'all had fallen out for a little bit. I heard you blocked them on social media. Talk to us about the story.
I mean, I blocked everybody. I'm like, I don't even want to see all that.
Fuck everybody. But talk to us how Snoop got you guys in the same place early in the morning. Y'all didn't know each other was gonna be there, and then jumped on the beat.
Oh, yeah.
And how?
Well, you know, me and Snoop had a little falling out for the last 15, 12 years. You know, cousin things, you know what I'm saying? It's not even got to do with the music.
Family.
It's personal
Yeah,
business.
it's family,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got over that. You know what I'm saying? It had a lot to do with, like, you know, with, you know, my uncle and, you know, his daddy, my mom and shit. You know, when my mom passed, I didn't have no support. And I just felt like I was alone. You know what I'm saying? And I rebelled towards all my family. It was fuck them all. Aunties, uncles, everybody, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I got over that after she died, and, you know what I'm saying, and thought about everything and think about, you know, like where your life going. You here now. My father, he died on my birthday.
Damn.
On May 25th, you know what I'm saying? So everything's a lesson to me, and I learned. And so I'm thinking to myself, you know, I really don't have no parents, or I have to guide myself from now on and my children and my business and everything, you know what I'm saying? So I flew back to LA, and someone was like, call my cousin Papa and tell him, you know, I want to, you know, hook up with the dog. And then so we got back together talking on the phone, and then my uncle called and we got into it, and I said some shit to him, and he got super high and called Snoop, and Snoop called me, motherfucker, my daddy. You know what I'm saying? And then we back at square one. So I come back again. Some say hit him again. And we come back and he said, oh, yeah, well, come over. So I'm sitting there. And then, you know, we talking and stuff. And then Kurupt come in. He like, he thought I was somebody else or something. So I just look up. He like, Dad? He's like, yeah. And then Snoop started smiling. Then he put the music on. And then we came with that song, Smoke Up.
The first album on Death Row, right?
Yeah, the first album going back to Death Row.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then that's it I know. We just had 15 more songs done in the next 3 days.
What's that feeling like, though? Because you guys had magic in the past, and then shit always
Still
happens,
is.
but it's still family. And then once you come back, it's like you never missed a beat. What's
Yeah,
that?
still
What's
is.
that feeling like, though, when you get back on the same mental path as the homie?
We finna get some money, man. And we getting some of this new money, man. You know what I'm saying? And we own the music now, and it feels good. And you know, all the player haters, they gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? And we just had a good time. And then from then on, we just told ourselves we ain't gonna have no hate, no none of it. Everything is in the past. Everything is over with. You know, we starting over fresh with attitudes, and we've been great since then. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had no ill will towards nobody, and they haven't had no ill will. We always working with each other. We had a conversation this morning, a meeting on the phone before I got here, with everybody on there talking about the dog food 30th anniversary.
Coming up.
And what we're going to be doing for that, and what Snoop ideas is, and what our ideas is. And you know what I'm saying? And right now, it's just a family thing, loving each other and pushing, because we all we got.
You ever think, I mean, considering the space y'all was in, the streets y'all was running in the industry you're in, the label you were with, to just be here today?
Most definitely. I look at a lot of homeboys that ain't here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of parents that ain't here, cousins that ain't here. And it just, I wake up every morning like, you know, thanking God, like, you know, someday, you know, we all got to get out of here, man. We don't know how we going to get out of here, but we all have to die one day. And that's a scary feeling. It make you want to get your life together to prepare for your children, what the future going to be like for them. You know, like my houses and stuff, I already put them in my kids' name. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of black folks like us don't do health insurance and life insurance and shit. They just die there and they just fight for their shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's what a lot of people be fighting. When you die, nigga, they start fighting for all your shit. As soon as you die, niggas breaking in your house and all kind of shit.
And it be your family fighting over your shit too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, you got to be mentally prepared for this thing. Get your life together, you know what I'm saying? And eat healthy. You know, I see people somebody was 130 years old I just seen the other day. You know what I'm saying? And it's people like that, you know what I'm saying? And I went to Jamaica. We went to Jamaica with Snoop to do the reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? There was ladies over there, 90-something years old, blowing like a stove.
Smoking some weed, baby. Look at my skin.
You know what I'm saying?
47.
And just eating right, you know what I'm saying?
Smoke some tree, baby.
That's what it is. You got to have that fruit. Why eat all this dead stuff when you can eat stuff that's living?
Eat greens and smoke greens.
Yeah,
all right.
You know what I'm saying? I eat vegetables. I'm a lot of vegetable guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I need to get my
Put that hot sauce on it, man. It'll turn anything.
I need to get
whatever
my
you want it to
vegetable
turn
game
into.
up.
And in some ways, some forms, hot sauce is good for you too.
Yeah, Tabasco sauce. Not that real hot jalapeno.
Nah, not that shit.
Burn your ass up.
When did you first meet Pac?
We met Pac back in like 91. We had met him at a show, and then we hooked up with him, and he took us to his house in Venice Beach. He lived in Venice Beach. He had just did Juice. Nigga gave us a laser disc. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
The movie was on a laser disc. That's all you, if y'all little youngsters don't know what a laser disc is, it's a big old disc, the laser you put on there, and he gave us that movie, and we went home and watched that motherfucker. We had a laser disc too. And then we've been friends from then, and back and forth, and then he was going through his trials and tribulations, and then I said, you know what, Suge, we gonna do a song, let's get Tupac on there. And we had did Hard on the Nigga. That was on the gang related, but that song was like, that song was like 4 years earlier before, we didn't even use it. But we paid him $30,000. If you look in the movie, when Suge came and gave him that money, that was for that song. That was the most he ever got paid.
Life's so hard.
He hit me like, if I don't get paid, I said, I'm gonna make sure. Get you some money, because we getting some money over this.
That's a hard, so that'd be hard too.
Yeah, because Suge never had royalties. He never had a royalty department. He was just always here, this and that, and didn't have a royalty department.
Backside.
You know what I'm saying? To count what it was, he was just always giving you shit, giving you big lumps of money and shit. And that's when I found out that I got to get a business account, because I was just buying pounds and doing what I'm doing, and the tax man came and put a hold on that money. Kind of disappointed me when I went to the bank to get that pound. You know what I mean? And so I had to go back and readjust myself and learn from them white folks to say, hey, man, I got to get a business account. Because the child support, they can't snatch that money in the business.
Man.
Dang.
You know what I mean? And learn that. Like I said before, and I tell everybody now, pay Uncle Sam, because you can make all the money in the world once you pay him off.
Yeah.
Once you get him out of your hair, You can make all the money in the world.
It's just the stress of the shit stress you out knowing you own. They don't be the other shit. Just
That's why you got to get you a business account because you pay your taxes at the end of the year and write that off. You know what I'm saying? And do business right. You know what I'm saying? So I just write it off and everything is I swipe on the credit card. Because I got too much cash, I'm going to forget what I done bought.
Is it true you got a stable of songs from Pac that ain't been released?
I gave him back to his mother back then.
How many songs?
I had at least about 40 songs. Damn. I had made Machiavelli and Dillinger, an underground album, like from the back. It was bootleg, you know what I'm saying? Because Death Row was trying to steal my music and stuff, so I had to release it some way, somehow, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, and then she sued me for $1 million, Mr. Phoenix Shakur, but we was all cool, and then I gave her the real, because I'm like, I didn't want them to steal it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's when I made my deal with Universal for those songs, and then 50 Cent and Who Kid came and got that song, The Realest Killer. I've helped put that song together because they got the vocals from me. They came over there like a bulletproof. They didn't know what to expect up to get those vocals.
Yeah.
But I gave it to them, you know what I'm saying, that Fred Rick house.
Pac's work ethic.
Rubbed off on us. You know what I'm saying? We probably was listening to one song a day or some shit like that, and half of a song. When he finished with us, we was doing 10 songs a day in that motherfucker.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I was, because I was working with him, so I'm doing the beat, and we lived next door to each other when he stayed on Wilshire. So he would wake up in the morning. I'm a Gemini, he a Gemini. We up early in the morning. He want to smoke some weed. You know, he smell it coming under the door. So he always say, the first one in the morning, you know, early bird get the worm. And so that means early morning, I'm making beats and stuff. He hearing it through the wall. He come over there and get
trying to jump on him first.
Yeah, come on, jump on him first. You get him first, you got him. Everybody else gonna take him.
He the type of nigga, do the song, play back one time, and go on to the next one.
Yeah, because I think it was 1995, October. Suge called and said, meet me at Monty's, you know, the mafia restaurant in Encino. And so we went there, we didn't know what to expect. Then Tupac came in the door. And they like, you ready? I'm like, yeah, I just made 5 beats today. Ambitions of a Rider, 2 of America's Most Wanted.
Oh, you just made all them beats?
Just made them.
Ooh-wee.
So we went in there and knocked him down, and that's when the first song we did was Ambitions of a Rider. That kicked it off. The first song is always the melody and the picture of the movie. Yeah, set the tone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And from then on, I dropped them 5, and then we was doing, I already had Ain't Nothing But a Gangsta Party.
Why you acting like that, Snoop?
You know what I'm saying? And then I had that beat already, the hook, everything. And the song was already done. I just needed, Tupac came in there, laid his verse, and then we looked up, and then Snoop walked in the door. And then it was already like, shit, it's right here.
Over.
What up, y'all? I partner with DraftKings, and they've done some stuff you guys gotta check out. The Pick 6 Stat Slice is the new way to give you a better shot at hitting your picks and cashing out with DraftKings Pick 6. Every Wednesday this summer, Pick 6 slices down one player's stat line to give you an even better shot at hitting your pick. It's the perfect way to try and nail your pick set. There's no opt-in, no catch. It's easy. Just open the app, snag your slice, and lock in. There's a new player every week, but the slice is only hot for a limited time, so don't miss it. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app today with the new special offer. Remember to use my promo code SMOKE when signing up. DraftKings, the crown is yours. You were in an era where if you're making a collab, if you're making a song with somebody else, they was in the studio. Talk to us about what that energy and different being, how if they send their sample over to you, what's the difference between obviously being in person and catching that energy and that vibe?
Throwing ideas from me, you know what I mean? Back and forth like a basketball. You know,
it's more organic.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we're creating together, and then that makes it better instead of one person going to get brain boggled.
So I've seen some shit. I ain't as smart as you in the game, but I've seen from just being around studios, sometimes people send verses to people and they make a beat, they make a whole song to the verses that he already spit. They just track them in.
It's easy. Start off with the snare first. The snare makes the song.
Yeah.
That makes the song.
That set the tempo, right?
That set the tempo, but it also makes the song, whether the clap is loud or it's just, you know what I mean? And then the kick and the 808. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on how you rapping too. So, I start off with the drums first. You know what I'm saying? And that sets my tone. Then the bass line, then the top part, and the music, and then the rest is history.
So it ain't hard to build a beat around verses already dropped.
Nah, not when you're good at it.
Yeah.
Y'all professional.
Yeah.
That's what we come in. We professional to go in and knock that thing out. While they sitting in there, I done did 10 songs in the last hour. You know, getting in and getting out, because back then you was paying for studio time. You ain't had that much time.
You got any classics that was done like that?
Yep, we did Ain't No Fun Like That.
Really?
Did, Let's Play House. We did Scandalous with Tupac, with Nate Dogg.
They dropped their verse and you built the beat around it.
Yep.
That's hard. That's hard.
Still, nigga, he go, it just, you know, the little quantize.
Yeah.
Go in there and just rap your verse, man, and go in here, I'll put the rest to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, that's like one method that we do like that, you know what I'm saying? Just to see how the vibe
That's the talent, though. Everybody can't do that. I've seen everybody can't do
Get
that.
the quantize on there, and it was called Sync back then, you know.
Sync, yeah.
That shit.
Mm-hmm.
MIDI.
Kendrick
Most definitely.
came back outside. It's had a hell of a,
Still got a good ride. I just heard They Not Like Us, but with everybody versus whoever did somebody. So it was Kendrick, it was Tupac, it was Snoop versus against it, and it was Ice Cube, No Vaseline, all on one mix like that.
I ain't heard that.
Put that in there. Put They Not Like Us, Tupac, Ice Cube, Snoop. They got all their verses put together. Like, that shit hard. I said, y'all got that one. That motherfucker hard. Right
I gotta hear
Glad
that.
y'all set it off. Used to be soft. Now you just went soft. First y'all was down with the AK.
Yeah.
And then they got Tupac hit him up on that. I'm like, damn, that was hard right there. They ain't gonna never get it cleared.
Yeah.
They gonna keep it on the internet.
I want to hear it, though.
It's on the internet.
Thoughts on K-Dot?
I love him. That's my boy right there. Kendrick, man. He made it happen, you know what I'm saying? From when he was first starting to now, you know, he made a song a long time ago that I heard that he was giving it up for me. Like, he appreciated my music, and it's a tribute song to me, you know what I'm saying? So I got that in my archives, you know what I'm saying? And just, I'm happy for all West Coast artists and all artists who can accomplish things, you know what I'm saying? From going from nothing to nothing and using their wordplay, and, you know, him and Kurupt is best friends, and he learned from Kurupt, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, him and Kurupt
Just
cool?
for him, and then, yep.
I ain't know that.
Yeah, that's what you know. He learned from Kurupt, you know, wordplay. You know, Kurupt good with the words and shit like that. You know, shout out to Top Dog. You know what I'm saying? Just moving around, and, you know, like I say, TDE is moving right now. You know what I'm saying? From SZA to Kendrick, Schoolboy,
Absol.
all of them. You know what I'm saying? Absol, everybody. You know what I'm saying? And he the most gangsterous nigga that don't get in no trouble.
Top, the Top.
Yeah, that's what I
Top
say.
cool as shit. I just
Fuck with Top.
He just had us at the concert last week.
Yeah,
cool
most
as
definitely.
shit.
He got me some tickets.
Yeah.
In Atlanta too.
What was your role in the Above the Rim soundtrack?
Producer. I started it off at first, you know what I'm saying? I'm always the one to kick it off. Doing the songs and giving them the idea, and then they're like, oh, that shit tight. They're going to do that. And that's how I know I'm out the loop. I done gave them my idea.
You did Pain?
Same thing for Murder Was the Case. I took a picture. I'm like, damn, this is a hard-ass picture for Murder Was the Case. And then they turned that motherfucker to an album cover.
You did Pain?
I didn't do Pain.
That beat hard, too, though.
That beat hard.
Who you know did that?
I think Stretching them did that beat.
Pain, crazy.
What do you think about beef these days as a whole? Because beef used to mean different shit when you guys was beefing.
Something like the Drake and the Kendrick beef?
In general, just how
Ain't nobody get killed, so everybody cool.
Right.
Ain't nobody get killed. Back then, it didn't have no internet, so you was like, when you seen them, it was just action. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no internet back then. We was selling CDs, consignment, Tower Records and stuff like that.
Door to door.
Yeah, door to door. Hand-to-hand combat.
As soon as the first motherfucker found social media and find he can hate on people and not have to pay for it personally, a whole world of haters start doing it.
Yeah, and you got your favorite CD and your homeboy come over and snatch your motherfucking CD. All hell break loose. You know what I mean? Because niggas see a CD, oh, I'm getting that one.
Now celebrities doing it. Hating on people because they can throw a rock and hide their hand. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
That's what social media has done.
I try to stay off that, you know, and just promote the music, and you know, you get in trouble with social media.
They're following everything. What is your thoughts on that? Because obviously you come from the code and the cloth, but all the street stuff, people telling all the talking that's going on these days on that side of the podcast space.
It's all about what you talking about, how you do it, and You know, you ain't gonna tell on yourself with your woman. You talking about you was cheating and shit, did you?
We under the old law though.
Yeah.
A lot of this shit is foreign to us, so nigga can't speak on it.
Yeah, that's some young guys.
It's crazy.
It's so foreign to us,
but
like
it's not all young. It's crazy just to see what's been.
When they tell on you like that, I mean they hate. Tell all your business.
Showtime Lakers, the Forum Club.
Most definitely.
Talk to us about that era.
Oh man, you know, Norm Nixon, you know what I'm saying? Coop the Doop. You know what I'm saying? AC Green, Magic Johnson, just the whole.
You were a young boy back then.
Yeah, just going up. That's when the Forum was blue. You know what I'm saying?
right up your alley.
I was about to say.
If it is in England.
Right up your alley.
You know what I'm saying? And
Did you hoop it all?
I played a little bit. You know,
Cut it
I
out,
was more
Daz.
football.
Cut it out, Daz. Cut it out.
You play football?
You know, hood football.
You hoop, you said?
Hood hoop.
Oh, hood. Oh,
Get on the end,
yeah, hood hoop.
I get in there and do some block, but I really wasn't. I was just, I was more into, street shit.
Yeah.
Selling dope and all
Yeah.
that type of
Yeah.
shit. You know what I'm saying? The homeboys, they do all, and we just make sure everybody was straight. I was just a young nigga that hung around a lot of old niggas
Yeah.
that watched old niggas make mistakes, and I made right mistakes by learning from what not to do. Okay, I can stand over here, but not on this side of the street, but
Right.
this side of the street. And you know what I'm saying? And just learn how to, your instincts, your heart, it's gonna flutter in you. It's gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying? But just learning.
Willie McGinest is in the same area as y'all, right?
Yeah, yep.
What was he like as an athlete in high school?
Yeah, he was the shit in high school, you know what I'm saying? And from the same neighborhood, you know.
Yeah.
And he did it. You know what I'm saying? They got a couple of
Oh, Willie G from 21st Street, man?
yeah, I'm saying, yeah. 2 for 1. You know what I'm
Willie
saying?
G, man.
He got a Super Bowl rings and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's a big accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Still
saying?
got the
in
same
Long Beach
curl,
and shit.
too.
But the world don't really know that. You know what I'm saying? Until you tell them, like, you know, Willie McGinest from Long Beach too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Cameron Diaz and all the other shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people from Long Beach.
Real estate.
Mm.
When did you? I mean, that's what really. When I really started seeing you kind of talking the game and dropping gems on Instagram, and I kind of started really paying attention more. Like, when did that become a passion? And talk to us a little bit what you willing to share about your real estate projects and how you came about them.
Well, like I be telling all my homeboys, what is the most important thing of life? Somewhere to live. A roof over your head. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a roof over your head. So that's the number one money maker for me. Because you got to pay that every month.
Mm-hmm.
They put you in a mortgage for 30 years. You might not even get to see 30 years. But whoever live in that house, if you pass, they got to qualify. That means you finna get evicted. And they finna move somebody else in here that got that money to put down on this house that y'all was living in for years. You know what I'm saying? So real estate just showed me that, hey, that's a constant money maker. On the 28th, the money should be coming in for the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And after the 1st, it's a late fee. You know what I mean? And if you don't pay your mortgage, they kicking your ass out.
The fuck out.
Quick. And you done lost your money. And you got to get put into a fixed mortgage. Sometimes people don't have a fixed mortgage, so you're paying $1,000 a day. Next week, it might be $4,000. You know what I'm saying? Or they done sold it to somebody else, the loan to somebody else like that. So I learned, go down to the auction, tax delinquent sales, and buy property, and then you wait a year. Because if you wait a year, the person that lost their property got to come back and pay that money back to you plus 25% on the dollar. So you're making your money back, but they don't come back and get the property, so you got it now. And it's about you building, getting a survey, you know what I'm saying, and going to get your plans for your house, you know what I mean, and go get the concrete, see how much that is, because in Georgia, if you're the homeowner, you're the contractor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need a contractor to help me pay this dude to go do all this. All I gotta do is go downtown, get the permit, $75. I wanna put a gate up, $75. I wanna reconstruct it, $125. Now I gotta go see how much the yard of concrete is and go get me some workers that know how to do that, you know what I'm saying, and just sit there and watch them. And that's where my cousin Big Jeff come in at. Shout out to Big Jeff. He a light colonel in the military. He know because he built his house. He got a 25-bedroom house, fucking Georgia, you know what I'm saying, on 2 acres.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just learning that made me really I love construction. bitch butt naked. I ain't gonna look at her. I'm gonna look at this construction over here because I like that. Because that's gonna get me to get butt naked when she get to my house. You know what I mean? The way it's built up in here, drywall, you know what I mean? Shaving it down, stairs, POV on the floor, you know what I'm saying? Pipes and all that, you learn all that. So that's what my joy is, construction. I got a construction contracting license and I just build on my own property. I ain't got to build on nobody else's property because I got enough property.
So you bought some nice properties out there. What are some of you were telling us, obviously World Cup is heading out there in 2060. FIFA. And you have a property where there's a big house and
it's called the Dog Pound Museum Resort.
Talk to us about that.
Dog Pound Museum Resort is an Airbnb, but I'm making like my own hotel, which I got my own website that's getting built so you can go direct. So I have the big house, which is a 4,500 square foot house, 3 stories. I got a club at the bottom. Second floor is lounging with a computer room. And then upstairs is 3 bedrooms, 1 big bedroom with 3 king-size beds put together. And then I got another bedroom that's a Jack and Jill bedroom. And then outside I got villas, like 10 villas. The Tupac Villa, Snoop Villa, the Dog Pound Villa, Warren G, DJ Quick, Ice Cube, all my favorite rappers. Nas, stuff like that where you can go you can go rent those villas for Airbnb. But they got stuff like this in here, but just all they pictures in there. You don't even see the white drywall, just all pictures in there. And then I got like comforters and sheets with their pictures on it that's made. So when you want to go to Airbnb, you can order the bed set and take it home with you. You know what I'm saying? And just that experience like that. And you can pay for me to be on the property because I'm going to be on the property anyway. So I'm going to be watching you, but you can pay to, I interact with you a couple of times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Take a couple of pictures with you.
I'll come tell a couple stories.
You know what I'm saying? Got a smoke room outside, you know what I'm saying? All that, you know what I'm saying? You want to buy a dog, a Rottweiler while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? Want a chicken, want a goat.
One-stop shop.
You know what I'm saying? Everything.
You breed rocks?
I sell Rottweilers.
Yeah.
American and German.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Which ones are the bigger ones?
The German ones is big. They got a big head. I got one named Max. He hard head. I had to get a big bolt chain yesterday and have my boy go over there. I need you to go over there to the house and chain him up because he just broke out 10 times.
What do you weigh?
He weigh at least about 130 pounds.
I got one by 145.
Yeah, I feed that nigga rotisserie chickens and everything. I go to Sam's Club, get them $4 chickens they got up in there. Instead of me going to buy some dog food and all that. My dog, you can't get them in my yard. So I'm like, you want this treat? And then they're like, nigga, where's the chicken at? Where's the roast beef?
Yeah.
We feed our dog because, down south in Georgia, they got like Kroger's and all the all the meat that's finna be rotten, and they sell it to us.
Yeah.
So we just go get a big old pot and throw all that meat up in there, cook it, and give it to the dogs. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they get so bulky.
My wife cook for my dogs every day.
Yeah. I get that Bill Jack.
Carrots, rice, scrambled eggs.
Eggshells, all kind of
shit in there for them dogs, bro.
Yeah, they eat
Don't
it
cook
all.
for me every day, though.
And the food
Cook
cheaper
for them
down
dogs
there.
every day. So ain't that a bitch?
And them Rottweilers loyal, too. Because they want to eat.
Facts.
But construction is the way of life, you know what I'm saying? Just learning that and everything. I went and bought a Bobcat. I got an excavator. Instead of me renting somebody else stuff, I can go out there anytime I want to and dig me a hole. Like Boosie.
Everybody know what a Bobcat is, right? Everybody know. Not the cat.
I had a house up in Sac. We built the whole backyard out, the pool, the basketball court. We made a little motherfucking jump track because I had like a half acre in front. So we cut the top off a Camry, made some jumps in front of the house, and like
that was fun, huh?
Man,
seeing your idea come to life, huh?
Man, I was in my early 20s too. We seen all that jackass shit and doing all that crazy boy, we were wild. Whew. Anyways, quick hitters. First thing to come to mind. Let us know. An album you can listen to with no skips.
Anita Baker. That Songstress album. The Chronic album. Some Luther. I like some Antonio Jobim. I like jazz. And I like all kind of music. I'm a producer, so I can listen to anything.
Yeah, anything, yeah.
Who was your childhood crush?
Diana Ross was bad. She was bad. As a youngster, then you get older. And then you go to Holly Berry when she had the little short haircut.
Lord.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And just any woman with some ass. You know what I mean? I feel, growing up like, damn, she bad. The school teacher, she bad as a motherfucker, just learning.
In her own
growing
little
up,
way.
you know what I'm saying?
Can you give me your top 3 favorite songs you've made?
Tupac, of course, Snoop Dogg, and like Helter Skelter.
Mm-hmm.
You ever heard of that rap group? Rocking them, Sean Price. Yeah. I mean, my catalog goes, with Scarface. I got a song with Scarface. I got, I got a song with Biggie that never came out that I got on a what's that called? 8-track, ADAT. Motherfucking that equipment is so old. In
The
my
DAC
mind,
machine is old.
Yeah. That DAT machine, put the DAT machine.
Yeah, that shit old.
So just like that, just a bunch of music and stuff, and I got remixes with Kenny Lattimore that I did, and that "Girl, you never find another love as good." I did that remix back in the days. A bunch of remixes was good back then.
Yeah,
If you was the remix king,
it was different back then.
and most definitely.
Top 5 producers.
Top 5 producers: Dr. Dre, DJ Quick, myself, Easy Mo B, Hank Shockley, and the Bomb Squad back in there. I got a slew of people because everybody do something different, you know what I'm saying? Like Sir Jinx and, other producers that I learned from, and, Quincy Jones, like #1, then Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying, as far as that, and, because he worked with Frank Sinatra and jazz and all that, and just my mother, you know what I'm saying? The way she writes songs and put it together like that, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I learned from, how to play the piano. And then my daughter played the piano. Her name is Daz Dillinger. She like, fuck making records and all, I'm finna make keyboards. You know what I'm saying? Well, people buy the keyboards and then she got sponsors and, apps and stuff like that. So, just different things in life, you know what I'm saying, to generate, generate wealth. Passive income, as you could say.
You producing a record. Build a dream team of rappers that you would want. 3 rappers and you producing.
3 rappers I produce. I like the Fat Boys. I had him in beatboxing. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? And
what was that movie they had? Disorderlies?
Yep.
Yeah. Crush Groove.
Crush Groove.
Yeah.
Not Disorderlies
Yeah,
though.
Disorderlies too.
Disorderlies was their movie.
Yeah.
About them. It was about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew Prince Marky D.
Yeah.
And Kurupt, and you know what I'm saying?
The human beatbox.
Yep. Dougie Fresh, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And Run DMC. I'll take it back to the old school, you know what I'm saying?
Fire.
And then everybody else be added on like Cool Mo D and everybody else like that.
The East Coast, West Coast time. What made you want to get back and start working with them?
I always work with them.
Okay.
We worked with Nas, you know what I'm saying? And we had did a song with Nas, and then Tupac came in and heard it. I'm taking over his part. I'm like, nah. So I put both versions out. It's called Don't Stop. So if you go on the internet, you can find that. And just, we always been cool with the East Coast, you know what I'm saying? It was just everybody else's problems.
One artist you never got to work with but wish you would have got an opportunity to?
Sade. We seen her one time, And Michael Jackson. We seen him, we smoked him out.
Really?
Yeah, he was at the award show, he stuck in there, hey y'all. Dog, you want to hit them? No. Because our trailer was right next to his thing. And wherever his people was, and that was back when we was young, we was smoking zigzags then. We was blowing it out. Yeah. And then Don Cornelius walked back there. Told us, hey, y'all got to chill out. That was at a Soul Train thing. Soul Train back then. Big Don, rest in peace, man.
Rest in peace, for real. I just see.
And we didn't went through the history of all the music business, you know what I'm saying? Because back then we was hanging with like the Ohio players, Sugarfoot and all them, and George Clinton and Boosie Collins and all that. That's what we was hanging with when we was coming up in the rap game. That's what we admired. You know what I'm saying? So,
what's this journey? I mean, you made 50, 52. Yeah. Life is good, family, business, spiritually aligned. But when you look back at the journey, because I think as athletes, while we're in it, it's always what's next.
Yeah.
You've had the kind of time to step away, find some other passions. But when you look back and you're naming some legendary times and names, like What has this journey meant to you?
What has the journey meant to me? Elevation, just being grateful, just learning more, you know what I'm saying? I'm not done learning. I can learn from a 2-year-old. You know what I'm saying? It's just about you taking heed to what needs to be done and to learn from. And share, be humble. You know what I'm saying? Because your own reflection is your reflection of you, what's going to come back to you. You be a fucked up person, you might hit your toe on a motherfucking chair or something. Now I got to go back, put my clothes off, get back in the bed, get back up again, and restart myself. That's how I do it. If I get up and hit my toe and say, "I'm gonna be a fucked up day today. Let me get back in let me reverse back and get back in the bed." Yeah, you know, hit my toe like fucks. So, you know, it's about regrouping, you know what I'm saying, and try again. But just being humble with it, you know what I'm saying, because everything come back to you. You know what I'm saying?
What's your guilty pleasure?
Not knowing enough. So I need to know more. I got
You a reader?
Yeah, I read a lot.
Okay.
And I always tell my homeboy, if you know what you got, you ain't got much. So keep acquiring things, and then you go back and see, oh yeah, I got this, I got that. It's like going back in your closet finding $300-400 in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Or finding that bag of weed that you say you lost 10 months ago.
Facts.
So, you know, if you know what you got, then you ain't got much.
If you could see one guest on our show, who would it be?
But
You have to help us get your answer on the show.
Y'all got Michael Jordan on the show yet?
We trying. he said he was, but we ain't got him yet.
He called me. He finna do.
he started talking now, yeah.
Commentate.
We're hoping.
As I'm saying, he finna get some money next. Ain't nobody heard him talk. They just heard him talking shit. Some motherfuckers all they with them old ass gators you got on. Shit like
It's good that the young guys get to hear Mike talk about the basketball landscape today.
Yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? You know, just how did you know the shoes and you know what I'm saying, and how did you accumulate that for so years that you own, you know what I'm saying, all that, you know what I'm saying? It's just a great thing to hear him talk because you can learn a lot of game from him because he don't do a lot of talking.
No, he don't.
He all action.
He was definitely all
You know what I'm
action.
saying?
Well, Daz, man, we appreciate you, and
I appreciate y'all too,
spending
man.
some time with us.
My
But
God.
it's really your contribution to the space, to our childhood.
I be watching my man right here be activists, man, you know what I'm saying, in all the neighborhoods
Yeah.
and all the police business, making sure they doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit to them in the neighborhood. Floyd, big up for all that, all you
Appreciate
do,
you, bro.
man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
to keep
sir.
our people going and informed because you ain't to be fucked with. They ain't finna pull no wool over your motherfucking head. Talk to, you know what I mean? Shit. That's what we
Appreciate
learning
you,
from.
bro.
We learn from you.
Appreciate you, dog.
Absolutely. That's a wrap, man. Daz.
Hey,
Great Daz.
Yes,
all smoke,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can catch us on All the Smoke Productions YouTube and the DraftKings Network. See y'all next week.